Hey everybody, it's Dan Wagner coming to you live from Nicor World Headquarters here in Naperville, right off of Route 88. We are excited to be here. It's the Dr. King, Martin Luther King, DuPage County Advisory Committee. We're going to be talking about the Asian, this is the month of representing the Asian community, and we're so excited to have a Polynesian priest to start off with, and we have a really great panel, and we appreciate Nicor so much for all the great food that they're providing and this hospitality. So thank you so much, and Regina Brent is going to be here too.
I am Nina Byers. I'm Vice President of Business and Community Development here at Nicor Gas, and I want to welcome you to Nicor Gas. We deliver the energy that 2.3 million homes and businesses across northern Illinois depend on every day. And we do that in over 650 communities across our region. And where you are today is our headquarters, our Naperville headquarters. We call the general offices, or GO. And we also have employees in 25 offices across northern Illinois and a lot of communities all over DuPage County and beyond. When we were invited to host this event today, we did not hesitate, because when Dan and Karen call you, you say yes, right? So I'm sure that's why some of you are here today as well. But actually, my colleague, Rahul Kalsi, who will be here shortly, he's our Director of Government Affairs, is a part of the organization and told us a little bit about what you all do in your gatherings. And we thought it was amazing. We thought it was so aligned with our values and how we operate here at Nicor Gas every day. So one of our corporate values is intentional inclusion. It's a part of how we come to work every day and treat each other in what we call our Nicor Gas family, because we really are like a family here. And joining me today is Pat Whiteside, if you could wave and say hello. Pat is our Senior Vice President of Field Operations, so his team takes care of our critical infrastructure that serves all of you across northern Illinois every day. Pat wears a lot of hats here, and he's also the executive sponsor of our employee resource group, SOAR. Here at Nicor, we have a variety of employee resource groups or affinity groups for our employees to support each other and help advance their own careers and improve our business. And SOAR is our employee resource group for our Asian American and Pacific Islander employees. So Pat is the sponsor of that, and our leadership team from SOAR is actually here today. So if all of you could stand and wave, our Nicor team. And I thank you for giving them a round of applause, because they put a lot of work into actually organizing the food and the setup and everything for this event here today. So we're So we have a tradition here at Nicor Gas. We start every single meeting we do with a safety moment, a safety briefing, as well as a values moment. And this helps reinforce our values of safety first across all of the work that we do, as well as our other corporate values that we do. So it is my pleasure to welcome one of our SOAR leadership team members and also principal engineer with our system planning team, Richardson Urpello, who's going to welcome you with our safety briefing and values moment.
Good afternoon, everyone. Thank you for getting here safely, weathering the weather.
Weathering the weather.
Awesome. If you could go to the next slide, please. I'm here to do a little bit of housekeeping. Our number one value at the gas company, at Southern Company actually, is safety. That's the safety of all of our people, of the public, and of course of our guests. Technical difficulties. So first off, in the event of an evacuation emergency, we are going to exit towards that exit over there, go up the stairs and exit out the nearest exit, which should be the rear exit to the building. It looks like you could go out those glass doors immediately out of here. You can't, unless you want to take an evacuation through the pond, go up the stairs, exit the door. In the event of a shelter-in-place emergency, we're going to exit this exit right here, walk down the hall into the to the protected area on the inside of the building here. The AEDs are located by the elevators. The fire extinguishers are all located by the stairwells. The emergency first aid kit is located by the ATM, which is over there by the elevators as well. Can I get a volunteer to call 911? Somali, what is our address?
1844 Ferry Road.
Somali will be our savior today. Okay. Next slide, please. We always start with a values moment as well. Safety being our #1 value, I wanted to call out someone that was crucial for the safety of not only our company, but really the world the last 3 years. Dr. Peter Tsai, PhD, Taiwanese American materials scientist from the University of Tennessee. He and his team invented the N95 respirator in the 1990s.
Wow.
Originally intended for industrial use, so mining operations, industrial farming operations, anything with particulates. They invented a material with electrostatically charged fibers, which holds particulates in better than just a cloth, preventing us from breathing it in. The CDC noticed that the N95 could also block viruses and bacteria, and anyone who's here today knows that the last 3 years, the N95 has been a crucial part of our PPE, especially at the gas company. We wear it when we go inside customers' homes. We wore it sitting in our office, so thank you, Dr. Peter Tsai. Just a quick DE&I moment. I wanted to talk about the Austronesian family of languages. It originated in Taiwan, or at least that's where all the clues point to. It was spread via seafaring and exploration. So if anybody here has seen the movie Moana, that's about Polynesian seafaring and exploration. Before European colonial expansion, it was the widest territorial extent of any language family. So it goes from Polynesia all the way to Madagascar. There existed over 1,200 languages in the past. It's currently spoken by over 200 million people, one of them being me. I'm an immigrant here. I came from the Philippines when I was 3. My first 2 languages weren't English. It's Tagalog and Pangasinan. And I am a proud speaker of an Austronesian language. Thank you. I wasn't pausing for applause. I was getting a business there. With that, I would like to introduce somebody. They are the Senior Vice President of Government Relations for the Inland Real Estate Group, as well as the Chair of the DuPage County Martin Luther King Advisory Group, Mr. Gamble.
We give hugs. And co-chair, because Regina Brett is also our chair here as well. So we are going to start off with something really exciting and privileged to be able to introduce David Kawaka Asedo from the Hakula Academy of Polynesian Arts. So without any further ado, if you would knock on that door behind you. There we go.
Aloha mai kako. Aloha. Aloha mai kako means aloha to you all, everyone including a speaker. Mahalo for being here today. Mahalo for having me here today. My name is Kavika, and I am here on behalf of Hokulea Academy of Polynesian Arts in Chicago, big island of Chicago. Probably heard of this island before. Big thank you, big mahalo for all that you do, keeping us warm in the winter months, because with Nicor we have the heat in the homes, and us Polynesians need that very much here in Chicago. So I'm going to open the event today with a few things. First, the sounding of the conch shell. In Polynesia, it is the sounding of the puukahi, which is alerts Polynesians around that an important event is about to begin. We blow this shell 3 times, once to the ocean, once to the mountains, the mauna, and once to the sky above. So this will open our event, followed by 2 oli, which are 2 chants, welcoming us into this space, as well as to allow learnings to be brought upon us today. kahea. And the oli kahea is basically our dancers, our hula dancers at our academy will use this every time they enter into our dance space. A place where there is learning that is about to happen, it is respectful in Hawaiian protocol to ask for an entrance. And so I'll do this on behalf of all of us today before we have our next speakers come up so that we can ask for this information to be shared with us and that we have a responsibility to carry this information with us and share it from this place on. A very special rain that falls on the big island, Hawaii Island, is called the Kanilehua rain. In Hawaii, there are more than 500 types of rains and winds. We have many different names for them, all depicting these different styles. This Kanilehua rain falls on the east side of Hawaii, in the town of Hilo, and it is a pitter-patter, just kind of like this. And this is a symbol of where my learnings have come from. This is a symbol of where our hula comes from, the big island Hawaii. And so we use this in our school as a way for this rain, this water, to saturate us with information, and so that we can carry that. The pitter-patter resembles the gentle flow of information and not a downpour or not an overwhelming source of information, and also not a mist where you always want a little more, right? This is that perfect dose of information. Kumaya ke kanaka, he Hawaii, e ho'ihi, e malamai na kuleana e ho'omau a ela kaua kanilehua e ai mai, e a pono mai, e maliu mai e kumai au ke kanaka, he Hawaii, e ho'ihi, e malamai na kuleana e ho'omau a ela kaua kanilehua e ai mai, e a pono mai, e maliu mai Mahalo. The next oli that will begin our evening tonight is the ehomai, which is a traditional oli. It's actually just an entrance and asking for this information that comes upon us tonight to be pure and so that it can be righteous. We call that pono in Hawaii. And this is just to ask for all sides to be welcomed into this space and allow it to come in. The oli ehomai is right here, and also for us to be exercised, our minds to be exercised. E ho mai ke mai luna mai e una mea huna no e au ona mele e ho mai e ho mai e ho mai e ho mai ke mai luna mai e una mea huna no e au ona mele e ho mai e ho mai e ho mai e ho mai ke mai luna mai e una mea una no e au ona mele e ho mai e ho mai e ho mai Mahalo, mahalo wahine, mahalo kane, mahalo ke akua, mahalo kupuna. Thank you very much. My pleasure.
You were terrific. We're going to, what a perfect way to begin today, don't you think?
Yes.
We are so excited to have you all here. And it's my privilege to introduce Regina Brent, the co-chair, to be able to say a few words to welcome everybody with what we're doing here with Dr. King and our Asian event.
Thank you. This is my left hand and my right hand. Thank you so much, Dan. Quite befitting for a day like this that the Polynesian prayer would follow up with rain. Yeah, rain. So that's how we know we're on the right path with this Martin Luther King thing. But I want to just thank each and every one of you, if I haven't already throughout the year, say thank you. Thank you for showing up. inclement weather is what we had on the day of the breakfast, and you showed up to help us become successful because you believe in the legacy of our very own Dr. Martin Luther King. So give yourself a round of applause. Thank you. We appreciate you from the bottom of our hearts. So we're going to continue this path throughout the year. We hope that we continue to see your lovely faces. The next theme we will use will be the book, Why We Can't Wait. Because we're in such a dire need in society today where things are just happening. And this is just so ironic that we would be in this particular path of going on to the second year of the Dr. Martin Luther King Project. So keep showing up, donors keep donating, sponsors keep contributing, and we would love to have you back again at Drury Lane in 2025. Thank you.
Thank you, Regina. And again, thank you to Nicor. Mina, buyers, thank you so much for making this happen. We absolutely have to highlight one thing, Pastor Shannon. Where's Pastor Shannon at? I know Pastor Shannon worked with Charlie Thurston here many years ago. How many years ago, Pastor? I can't remember. But Charlie was a friend of mine. He was a leader in DuPage County in the African American community, and he was a leader here. And so calling upon his soul, I know he's with us tonight. So God bless Nicor. We can't tell you how much we appreciate you. And this food is going to blow your minds. It's going to be really good. I like to eat. But without any further ado, we're excited about this program. Talk about a rock star program. I have the honor of introducing a really great person, Dr. Karen Ang. Listen to her biography. Karen is the president and CEO of CSMI, a privately held engineering firm specializing in the FDA and USDA regulated industries, helping her clients be more efficient, safe, and sustainable. She is also the CEO of Diversity Gaming Solutions, which works with gaming companies to enhance supply chain diversity and to promote minorities, women, and veteran communities for jobs. Karen's a member of several prominent nonprofit boards, including the National Asia Pacific Islander American Chamber of Commerce and Entrepreneurship, and APIA vote, for which she serves as the current board chair. She's also involved in senior positions with the New England College of Optometry, the Asian American Coalition of Chicago, and Asian Pacific American Leadership Foundation. She received her Bachelor of Science degree in both biochemistry and biology from the University of California, San Diego, and her doctorate of optometry from the New England College of Optometry. Please join me in welcoming the very beautiful and very smart and intelligent Dr. Karen Ang.
Thank you. I should go that way.
You get a hug too. There you go. Good job. You're the best.
Love the hug. All right, so David did a wonderful job. I was in Hawaii for 2 weeks in the middle of March to the end of the month, and one of the things they do after you do prayer, and I think we do this before prayer at church as well, is you take like 3 deep breaths in and out just to like get ready and prepared and open your mind. So I was hoping you'd all do that with me. So breathe as you will, but it's like 3 deep breaths. We'll go breathe in and breathe out, letting all of today's stress get out of you. Breathe in again. Breathe out. No more traffic. You're here safely. And one more time, breathe in and breathe out, and be open to receiving everything and networking and all the things that are going on. So without further ado, I would love to introduce my great friends that have served with me in the community, but also independently, professionally, and personally are doing amazing things. So if we could have Susan Patel, Mabel Mannard, and Lucky Sia come up. So I was going to sit down with y'all, but I'll just stand up here because I like it. I like standing up better. I just sat in the car for like an hour and a half.
If we can get up, the stool is a little high.
So like I said, what happens is when you start working and then you have the flexibility in your schedule to do community work, you end up choosing things that you are passionate about, and then you end up working in the community with people who have the same passion as you do. And pretty much that's how I met all three of you. And we're all intertwined and collaborating in the Asian American community with the different organizations. And then when something needs to get done, we just call each other up and the things get done. And we have some exciting programming stuff that we're doing during Asian American Heritage Month. And happy day 2. It gets worse at day 30. We're exhausted. But this is day 2 and we're fully energized and ready to go. So this is what I like to do instead of reading a bio or things like that. I like having my panelists introduce each other. So I introduced Lucky, Susan, and Dennis. So I'm going to have, and Mabel, so let's have Lucky introduce Susan.
Sure. Can everybody hear me okay?
Yes.
All right. Good afternoon, everybody. So I'm going to be introducing a woman who actually I've known for a very long time in the community. She not only is the executive director of the South Asian American Chamber of Commerce, she is also a business and life coach under the brand Supra, kind of like an Oprah for the South Asian community.
I like it.
And she's not only just this powerhouse female that travels internationally, she also is an very highly experienced wedding planner in the South Asian wedding industry. She's actually one of the most sought after wedding planners and travels all over the world to do these amazing, fun, lavish Indian weddings. So ladies and gentlemen, please welcome Susan Patel.
All right, you can have that. Can you introduce Mabel?
I can't.
Yeah, you're on.
Okay.
Yeah.
Hello, everyone. This is Mabel, and she works at the Chinese Mutual Aid Association. She is currently the Director of Administration, and you learn more about what CMA does, and it does great work in the community, and we've all been involved with CMA, so we have a common link already.
Thank you. And then you introduce Lucky.
Lucky, see up. You can hear me?
Yeah.
Okay, great. It's hard to tell. I don't know what to say because I've known Lucky for so long. Sometimes you forget how much he has done. So when I'm trying to come up with like, what can I give you a very brief summary of Lucky, I'm like, I don't know. But one of the things that I can tell you for sure, he's the founder of the Chicago Asian Network. It helps us promote our events throughout the Chicago area. He publishes a calendar, especially for May during Heritage Month. Like this year has like 100 and...
There's over 100 events for the month of May alone in the AAPI community.
And that's only the
Chicago.
ones that we know about. Those are the ones that got sent to him before the deadline. So there are a lot more, I promise you. And in addition to that, Lucky has been an entrepreneur. He's been a social guru in media. He recently got married.
Yeah.
And also he's been very, very supportive of our community in terms of a lot of our events that we host in the community. For example, in addition to being the Director of Administration for CMAA, I'm also the President for OCA Greater Chicago. Every year we do the AAPI Heritage Month Kickoff. Lucky is always there, helping us make sure that everything runs smoothly. Without him, I think we would fall apart.
No, thank you. I just do a lot of free work. Everybody accepts free work in the community.
That's pretty good. All right, so one of the things I wanted to talk about is we have to put up the slide. Can we put up the slide of the Martin Luther King reference, please?
Yes, one moment.
I'm still here. I'll still be here. I'll start reading it. So I was asked to pick something that resonated with me, and this resonated very heavily. So I'll read it to you. Everybody can be great because everybody can serve. You don't have to have a college degree to serve. You don't have to make your subject and your verb agree to serve. You don't have to know about Plato and Aristotle to serve. You don't have to know Einstein's theory of relativity to serve. You don't have to know the second theory of thermodynamics in physics to serve. You only need a heart full of grace, a soul generated by love, and you can be that servant. And so that's what we're going to talk about today. We're going to talk about how the Asian American community serves not only just our community. There's people out in the community that are not Asian American that we serve and help as well, immigrants and low-income folks as well, and how we've started to bond together. So there's an organization called the Asian American Coalition of Chicago, which consists of 17 communities, of which it's not as easy for the Asian American community to bond together, especially in the immigrant community, because we have several different languages. So Korean is different than the Philippine, Tagalog, it's different than Japanese, it's different than Vietnamese. So it's a little more difficult than in communication and voting and legal and things like that. So part of what we do in our community is make sure that we're providing the resources so that they can understand and read, and a lot of pro bono services that all three organizations take care of to do so. So that's just a little bit different than other communities. And not to say that there's not different dialects in the Hispanic community, but there's English and there's Spanish, right? In the Black community, there's English, right? So it's just a little more trickier, but we're getting there. We're getting there. And the Asian American community has the largest wealth gap either. So you think that you have like the very wealthy, crazy rich Asian folks, but at the bottom you have those who are barely making minimum wage and working. So that we have the largest wealth gap. But we have people. We got volume of people as well. So, all right. So I'm going to ask Susan to describe the South Asian Chamber of Commerce of Illinois.
Okay, we started the South Asian Chamber of Commerce 2 years ago. I just started March 1st this year, so I've been doing a lot of running around. I cover the state of Illinois. So our main goal, so the business community has been around for over 60 years, but we don't have a unified voice that covers 8 countries that make up South Asia. So my job is to make sure that everyone is represented and supported. So the Chamber right now is currently working on 4 things: economic development, public advocacy and access, corridor planning, that includes strip malls and everything that you see in your communities, and branding and marketing. So these are the 4 points we're working on currently, and creating a directory so we could use each other as an asset. We are not a membership base, but we are a sponsorship base. So if you'd like to sponsor us, we're happy to take your sponsorship, and it goes towards programming such as something like this. So we like to do that throughout the year.
Thanks. Hey, Lucky, can you describe the work that you're doing, Ken? I know that we talked briefly upon it, but I know it's deeper than printing a calendar for Asian Heritage Month.
Yeah, to talk about that, I probably need to give you a little bit about my background. I'm ethnically Filipino, Chinese, and Indian. And by the way, hi mom. My
Hi,
mom is my Indian mom is back there. I just want to give her a shout out.
Yay!
So I grew up in this multicultural household in the Philippines, and I immigrated to Chicago in 2006 for college. And I was this theater major, and I was very intent in going the route of becoming a theater actor. So I worked with an Asian American theater group, and my job in that theater company was to go out into the Asian American community and take stories of immigration, mental health, issues affecting our community, and mount them into place. My love for community theater turned into community work, where I realized that the AAPI community was very fragmented. There was a lot of disconnect. They're very siloed. Even though they're not a monolith, sometimes they're seen as a monolith, but there's a lot of differences, and cultural differences, especially within the Asian American community. So there was that lack of communication, connection, and collaboration. So while I was in college, I started a website to just blog and talk about the AAPI community and talk about what was happening in the Korean American community and the Filipino American community and the Japanese American community. And it kind of took a life of its own. I mentioned earlier, I do a lot of free work. This was something I just did pro bono to just try to find ways to get the community to collaborate with one another. And we never really made any money In fact, I had a job. Instead of going to theater, I went into nursing school because also Asian parents want you to have a solid backup, as some of you Asians know, Asian Americans know. So I was working as a nurse, but still self-funding this passion project. It wasn't until 2017, I started the website in 2010, but it wasn't until 2017 that we got our first big break where we got to work with Warner Brothers on the marketing for Crazy Rich Asians. And from there, that kind of gave us a little bit of seed funding to start doing more outreach and activations and events in the community. So now we've become that one-stop shop within the Chicagoland area for anything and everything that's happening from a marketing and outreach perspective for the Asian American community. So we work with corporations that want to connect with the Asian community. We work with government agencies and organizations as well that want to do outreach. And then we work with a lot of nonprofit organizations as well to put a lot of their events and fundraisers together.
Thanks, Lucky. He's an excellent MC too, if you need
And a
somebody to get a
dancer.
crowd going. All right, Mabel. I want you to talk a little bit about, not a little bit, I would like to talk about Chinese Mutual Aid Association and the work that you're doing there, and especially the different programming.
Sure. Chinese Mutual Aid Association started over 40 years ago by refugees from Vietnam. And the purpose was to support other refugees and provide social services and make sure that they have the support that they need to live in the U.S. and in Chicago. And we are located at 1016 West Argyle Street, so that's uptown. Sometimes it's called New Chinatown, sometimes it's called the other Chinatown, Second Chinatown. But as you're probably aware, that neighborhood has changed over the years. It is now, even though it's still primarily Vietnamese and maybe Thai, but we're also seeing a lot of immigrants and refugees coming from other countries as well. As you probably are aware, like for example, Rogers Park is probably one of the most diverse neighborhoods in Chicago. So in addition to a lot of clients who come to CMAA for services who are Vietnamese or Chinese descent, we're starting to see a lot of Eastern Europeans, Ethiopians. So the services that we provided have changed over the years because of that. So some of them are, like for example, adult education. A lot of them who came to the U.S. probably had a professional background, but their degree may not translate over to what they could do here. So we try to make sure that we can provide something that they can use in terms of skills. ESL is another one. CMA actually is the second largest ESL program after Chicago Community College.
Wow.
So we actually are a lot bigger than people realize when it comes to ESL classes. We even actually had a client, I believe they were from Ukraine, and they went to Truman, took classes there, came to CMA and said, I'd rather stay here. So that tells you a lot about the teachers that we have because they really care about the clients that we serve. We also have computer literacy classes. We have a youth program where one thing that we can brag is if you look at the scorecards for Chicago Public School, absenteeism is about 26%. For students enrolled in our program, it's 0. So our goal is to make sure that they stay in school and of course improve their grades and then move on to college, or not necessarily college, but certainly a profession or skills, some kind of career, and also come back and be mentors for us. We have youth mentoring program for both boys and girls to make sure that they have the skills that they need, because a lot of times, as you probably are aware, school doesn't teach you soft skills. I mean, you could get straight A's, but you may not know how to go and do a job interview, for example. So we do a lot of that to make sure that they acquire a lot of those skills that they may not be able to acquire in school.
Thanks, Mabel. So you may have heard, this is an election year, and the DNC is coming to Chicago. So the community has come together to let to let the people know that are coming in, the delegates and folks that are coming to Chicago, that we're out there. And so Susan's part of the committee. I think all of us are part of the committee, right? The DNC committee for the AAPI community. So why don't you go talk about that for a little bit?
So we had someone come in from Washington, D.C., a representative for AAPI, Belle
Auntie.
Call her Auntie. And she came in, a little spunky woman, came with a lot of demands. I'm like, oh my God, who's this woman? And it was great. So at that second meeting, which I was present at, we had the Muslim Chamber of Commerce, the South Asian Chamber of Commerce, the Asian Chamber of Commerce, the Filipino Chamber of Commerce, and Chinatown Chamber of Commerce. And we all figured out a way in one meeting how to have the Asian Taste of Chicago on Sunday, August 18th in Chinatown. First, we all thought, why is it in Chinatown? Then we thought logistics. It makes sense for it to be in Chinatown because it's sort of in the triangle of where the DNC is going to be. So we're expecting about 20,000 people to attend this all-day event. And it's amazing, and we actually have more folks joining, different chambers joining. So we had a meeting today, and we're gonna have up to 15 chambers. Each chamber will represent 5 booths. So we're gonna have every type of cuisine in the Pan-Asian, South Asian community. So it's really exciting. So more things to come, so look for us.
And what better way to get the word out is by food, right?
Yes.
That's how we really win, really.
And good
It's
food.
food.
And good food. Let's go back a little while we're on the topic of food. Why don't you talk about your little pet project on the restaurants?
So I mentioned a little bit earlier, I'm president of OCA Greater Chicago. Actually 4 years ago, I had this thought, Chicago's a great foodie town. We have Taste of Chicago, we have Chicago Restaurants Week, we have Black Restaurants Week, we have Filipino Restaurants Week. There's no Asian Restaurant Week in Chicago. And I started looking up, Googling it, like there actually is nothing. So I decided, let's do it. And actually first year, for the very first try, never done it before, we were able to get 33 restaurants, but the purpose was not so much Asian cuisines, but supporting AAPI restaurant owners. So in addition to the usual, we have Filipino, we have Thai, we have Korean, we have Japanese, we have Chinese. We also have bakeries, we have chocolate, we have Hawaiian food, and that was 2022. May 17th to May 26th is our 3rd annual. I'm still finishing up the list. I have over 50 restaurants for sure. Wow. One thing that I can boast that no other cities can boast in terms of Asian American Restaurant Week, we have every independent Hawaiian-owned restaurant in the Chicago area.
Wow.
No chains. So hopefully you can come and support them. Check out our website, www.ocachicago.org, and you can look up AAPI Restaurants Week. We will have all the restaurants listed on there.
Just for the record, we will be doing that next year.
So Lucky, there's a little bit more to our community and what we do, and some of the stereotypes and some of the struggles and challenges. So I wanted to touch just lightly on it. We can talk about this over and over and over again. But I don't know if you all know what the model minority myth is.
Just by a show of hands, who knows what the model minority myth is?
The Asians. So go ahead.
So the model minority myth was really used back in the 1960s as propaganda. So in the late 1800s, we had a lot of the Chinese immigrants coming into the United States working on the railroad. However, shortly after that, they passed the Chinese Exclusion Act that didn't allow Chinese people to even bring their families here to the United States. And then shortly after that, you had a lot of the Japanese Americans who were put into internment camps. So during the 1960s, there was this propaganda that was used really to pit these different racial groups against each other. They would say that, hey, they wanted the U.S. government started inviting more Asians to come over as immigrants, but these were the highly skilled Asian immigrants, the doctors, the lawyers, the engineers, and so what they did then was that the U.S. Through this propaganda, they would say, "Hey, look at the Asian community. They're successful. They're good members of society. They're contributing. Why can't these other minority groups be like the Asians?" But what happened was that it was very divisive, and it was really used as propaganda to get these communities to not be able to really work with one another. In essence. So that was the model minority myth. But you know, it really instead of trying to show put up the Asian American community, I think it was really hurt Asian Americans as well, because it started putting them against one another, and it perpetuated the stereotype that all Asians are successful or educated and well-to-do. And what ended up happening too was a lot of these Asian Americans who didn't have, did not get access to, let's say, social services or the right type of services that they needed as well.
And then we talk a little bit about the bamboo ceiling. Did you want to do that?
Sure, or we can probably talk about it later on. Well, so another show of hands, who knows about the glass ceiling? Everybody, right? Keep your hands up if you know about the bamboo ceiling. Okay, only a few as well. So similar to the glass ceiling, we have a lot of Asian Americans who are highly educated, right? In our community, one of the things that's really stressed onto us in an early age is education. Really trying to get good grades, going to good school. But as Asian Americans, sometimes we're now always seen that as good workers instead of good executives. You know, I've read this statistic. This was a couple years ago, but 20% of all law school applicants happen to be Asian American, but less than 2% make partner at a law firm. Right? So and you know, you can see this among engineering and other fields as well. But the point I'm trying to make is that, you know, the bamboo, you see a lot of these stereotypes for the Asian Americans where they say, oh, they're good workers, but they're not good leaders because they don't speak up much. And sometimes it's that disconnect between us as not speaking up because we want to be respectful of our superiors. But that's one of the things that I've been working on as well, to work within the community to make sure that, you know, Asian Americans do speak up. Asians sometimes are told, oh, you know, don't rock the boat, just keep your head down, work hard, don't make a noise, right? Don't make noise, don't cause trouble. But we've seen
your hard work
will
will
pay
off.
off.
Yeah,
Yes.
keep working and it will pay off. Yeah. But versus the squeaky wheel gets oiled, right?
Yeah.
Yeah. So thanks, Lucky. So Mabel, CMA does a lot of good work, and they tap into the social service side with immigrants. Can you talk a little bit more from the business side of the positive things that are going on, like what Jill is doing?
So in addition to social services, we have something called Small Business Development Center. It is the only Asian American SBDC in Illinois. So what they do is they work with small businesses. They can come for business advice. We can help them get grants. We can get loans so that they can open their business, expand their business. Sometimes it's just something very simple like business advice. What do you need to do to get a business license? Where do you get space? And some of the things that we have done for SBDC is also to get funding for like security cameras, for example, especially during COVID, where there were a lot of attacks on Asian Americans, and also businesses were getting vandalized. So that's one of the things that we worked with Uptown United and the Alderman's office to make sure that they can afford security cameras, at least make sure that they feel safe in the community. And also another thing that we do is to work with other funding sources for them, make sure that they get promoted in terms of their businesses, because it's one thing to have a restaurant, for example, but people need to know about you. So that's kind of, SBDC is really there to support small businesses. It's through the state of Illinois, and we have business advisors. It's no cost to our clients. I can't tell you how many clients we go through, because sometimes they come and stay for a while, and then they do really well, and then they take what they've learned with them, and then maybe they come back a little bit later because they want to open another location. So that might be something completely new again. I just introduced a business owner that I know to Chada, who's the director. He has 2 locations right now, but he says, can you connect me to somebody who can give me some business advice? Because I don't know how to scale my business, even though he already has 2 locations. But he wanted to learn how to scale his business so that he can, number one, keep doing what he's doing, and also expand his business as well. And unfortunately, it was actually in the news that his first location got vandalized twice, with I think last month. I mean, they actually smashed the windows, and he repaired it, and then they did it again. So now he decided to turn it around. Like, I'm not going to put up a window. I'm going to do a painting. Put a wall and do a painting instead. So like helping them like think outside the box a little bit more.
Excellent. So this is kind of cool. So Susan, I want you to talk about Patel Brothers, and I want you to talk about Devansh Day. So you know about Chinatown, maybe you know about Koreatown. Mabel talked about Uptown or New Chinatown and things like that. So I don't know if you know, there's, go ahead, you go.
Okay, how many people have seen Patel Brothers in Naperville? If you could raise your hands. Awesome, have you gone inside?
Yep.
Great, okay. Thank you for supporting my family. So we're 50 years old this year. We started in 1974. It's my dad and his brother, Patel Brothers. They're really generic in the name. We started, my parents immigrated here in 1971, and my uncle was here as an engineer in the late 60s. So eventually we found a little shop. My parents, my mom was a cashier, my dad was a laborer, my uncle held his day job, and my aunt took care of 6 children. So that's how we worked. We lived in one home, 10 people, and that's how we started. So it's amazing to see what everyone sees today, but that's not how it started. Small little house in Skokie is how it started. So today we have over 60 locations, over 22 states. So it's amazing to see the growth, and extended family members come over and have jobs, and they're willing to work 7 days a week and really have like the American dream. So it's been really powerful. And we do our best to bring the best of India and South Asia to all these different communities. And as you've noticed, we've developed, I would say we're the first to develop little Indias across the country, because where there's the Patel Brothers, you need a sari store, you need a clothing store, then you need a jewelry store. So, and these Patel plazas have just been popping up all over the United States, and we developed those. So it's been really amazing to see in the last 50 years how far we've come.
I have to add, you guys have the best Indian sweets ever. So I got married last year and in the Philippines, and so I just filled my suitcase. I went to Patel Brothers and just filled my suitcase with all these Indian sweets to have at my wedding. But just the food, the quality is
Thank
amazing.
you. But I will say this, I went for the first time to H Mart, and I just sat there with my jaw dropped, and I was like, Karen, where is the noodles that I'm looking for? And she's like, I don't know. And I'm like, okay. And I just realized that's exactly how people feel when they go to Patel.
How I feel at Patel Brothers.
She's like, what do I like? I'm like, I don't know. Go up and down the aisles and just sort of figure it out, So Karen is a snack junkie, so she loves snacks. And popcorn, Indian popcorn. So it's been great. Just to have that cross-cultural experience to, so we can better serve the community and have a better understanding when we're sitting around the table to say, oh, that's similar. I had a samosa empanada yesterday. It was delicious. From a Filipino restaurant, local, and it was really nice to have that cross-cultural experience. as our kickoff, so it's great.
We seem to talk about food a lot.
We love food.
I wanted to highlight a couple things that CMAA does that are so fun. So in addition to like the fundraising and the gala, the spring things, one of my favorite events that they have in the summertime, I believe, is called the 5K Dim Sum and Then Some. So you do.
So you've heard of the hot chocolate run, right? This is the dim sum run. You run 5K, and after the end, instead of getting hot chocolate, you get a whole box of dim sum goodies that you get to enjoy.
It's awesome. And then you get to see the new Chinatown.
Yeah, it's they've been doing this for quite a while now. It started out with a very small number. Last year, I think they had 2,000 people signed up, and we're expecting more people this year. It's going to be in August. Hopefully, it's going to be a nice day. You can run, you can bike. It's 5K or 10K. We have different age groups, so whatever your skill is, there's something for everybody. And of course, like we said, at the end you get some dim sum.
Lucky, do you have an event you want to promote? Not for yourself, but like that, since you put the book together, that's coming up.
And probably once we're doing food, I actually brought a box of our Asian Heritage Month calendars to give out, so you can see all the different events happening for the month of May. One of the things that's interesting this year, I've been a big advocate for the Asian American community, but it's only back from 2010 to now, it's exciting to see the amount of support that's pouring into the Asian American community. Now we have more notable actors even on media, and more Asian Americans in sports as well. One of the events I'd probably love to highlight is on May 19th. For the very first time, the Chicago Cubs is actually doing an Asian Heritage game celebration. That's against the Pirates, I believe, on May 19th. So that's something that I'm really looking forward to, because I've never been to a Cubs game before for an Asian heritage that celebrates Asian heritage. So it's amazing now that there's just more inclusivity and diversity and equity. And if you also want to know more about all the Asian events happening in Chicago, you can always just go on ChicagoAsianNetwork.com.
Excellent. Do you have an event in your community that you're promoting? Yeah.
Yes, we do on May 19th.
Why not before you go to the game?
Before you go to the game, and we have the Color Fest. Everyone's heard of Holi, so we have sort of a soft version of that. It's Skokie Park Districts, which is very supportive of the Asian community. So we're going to have a grand finale from 4 to 5, and throw colors, and the fire hose will, hose you down, and it'll be great. So join us.
Awesome. I think we're good this way. I just wanted to close again by just reading the quote that inspired our discussion today. So I'm going to do it one more time. So, everybody can be great because everybody can serve. You don't have to have a college degree to serve. You don't have to make your subject and verb agree to serve. You don't have to know about Plato and Aristotle to serve. You don't have to know Einstein's theory of relativity to serve. You don't have to know the second theory of thermodynamics and physics to serve. You only need a heart full of grace, a soul generated by love, and you can be that servant. And these three represent that in all high regards, and I appreciate you all for being here.
Thank you very
much. Wonderful. We appreciate you so much. Thank you. Well, everybody, we're ready to go to our next level here, which is, of course, is eating. But before we do that, Jonathan Kruger, where's Jonathan Kruger at? Jonathan, could you stand up and let everybody know what is going to happen in June? What's going to be our next Martin Luther King DuPage County Advisory Committee event? Stand up and let everybody know.
Okay, on the spot, right. So I'm with the Science and Spirituality International Meditation Center. It's a beautiful building in Lisle, so we'll talk a little bit about wellness and healthy living. We also host Veggie Fest, which is the largest vegetarian food and wellness festival in the world. You have 50,000 people come to Lisle for the festival. So we're going to have a great meal. We're going to talk about meditation, spirituality, wellness, and You're going to get tours of the building. It's been an award-winning building for its architecture. It's a beautiful place, and come and bring your friends.
June 20th. Yes, June 20th, we want you to be there. And we appreciate that everybody puts their calendar. Pastor Shannon.
I just want to say one thing. Recently, I did a very deep dive into the Asian population, and I found out that the Asian population is the largest population in the world. And that's something that we should make a note of. But I'm also lifted today to see that the words of Dr. King, me growing up in Dexter, Dr. King being my pastor, is also something that's leading this largest population in the world. And I've just been lifted with that today.
Amen. Thank you, sir. And Chief of Patel, we all got to go. How many went to the BAPS Wabarian Temple? We had our group there, and we had the opportunity. When I was there, I was able to meet your dad. So that was very good too.
I love it.
And we also have, as Joe would show, we have the Holy Threads too.
Oh, yeah.
All of
Oh,
us are doing that, which are really terrific. But you never take it off; it has to fall off.
It has to fall off, and then you have to put it under something living, like a tree, and it goes right back into the earth.
Oh.
So that's the trick to it.
Well, we are excited about having you guys here. Let's have a round of applause for our wonderful team. Oh, so obviously one of the things that to also highlight, we're here because we're here as Pastor Shannon talked about. Dr. King is our focus. We are honored also to have Thomas Armstrong here. Thomas, if you'd raise your hand, let everybody know. Thomas is a freedom writer and has written a wonderful book that I purchased and you can purchase as well. But he lives in Naperville. Pastor Shannon also said that he knew Dr. King, and one of your friends was Rosa Parks. We have wonderful leaders from the civil rights era here in DuPage County, and we appreciate everybody as well. It's fun to know that I come from a world of teaching. I work for the Inland Real Estate Group that was founded by 4 Chicago public school teachers. Our founder just passed away, but he was the one that had the impetus to start all of this again back in DuPage County, and we're going to continue it. So for my standpoint, it's just like carrying the torch of Dan Goodwin, and it's an honor to be here on his behalf. I know his spirit is here with us right now too, which is a wonderful thing. The food, thank you very much. He was like my dad, so if I talk about it much more, I'm going to cry. So I love that man. We have an incredible food. Nina, did you want to tell everybody about the food and how we do
I
this?
actually don't know much about the food.
Tish is going to come up here and tell us what we need to do. Everybody, Nicor has just really done an outstanding job for us. This food is going to blow your mind. Do you want to come up here, Tish, and tell everybody what we do next? Is anybody hungry?
Yes.
Mike Childers is here. Mike, are you hungry? Okay, here you go.
All right, thank you. We have a wonderful spread catered from Gin 28 right here in Naperville. So we have a maki tray, which has a bunch of different types of sushi. We have a sushi tray. I will say there are dietary concerns. Sushi, I could not guarantee that there would be just vegan options. So if you have that kind of a dietary concern, I would recommend not, or being careful with what you choose from the sushi side. We do have the white rice, vegetarian egg rolls. We have veggie funshi noodles. Sorry. Fancy. Okay, thank you. We have a vegetarian delight, a Buddhist delight. Those are all of your vegetarian options. No, that's, I think one of them has water chestnuts in it, the Buddha's delight. And then we have orange chicken, Mongolian beef, and chicken fried rice. So a lot of different options. And then there's also a house salad with ginger dressing.
Which is going to be great. And Pastor Shannon, would you come up here real quick? We have one of the best pastors in DuPage County here. We want to take advantage of him and his prowess and say a prayer real quick. So Pastor Shannon, we'd be honored if you would be able to bless us and bless the food. I'm handing this
microphone to a pastor, so.
A black preacher. I won't take my text. Let us pray. Oh, gracious God, we come once again to say thank you. We thank you, dear Heavenly Father, for the words of Dr. King that can go now to bring the largest people's group in the world under the auspices of his leadership. And we just come to thank you for this opportunity to serve, because we all can serve and we all can be great. Now continue to go with us and bless this fellowship. Bless the breaking of the bread that we're about to encounter. Now go with us and bless us. In Jesus' magnificent name, we pray.
Amen.
Amen.
Terrific.